Thank you, Marcus. My name is Kelvin Ng. I'm in the retail business for almost 25 years, both as a developer, consultant, mall manager, and I've been working in Asia, across China, Southeast Asia, India, and more recently Vietnam. I came to China as early as 1995 to do the first shopping center, when there was no shopping center in China. And I have been helping developers all over the world who are entering China, and also retailers who are looking at the China market to help them conduct feasibility studies, and for developers to help them manage the mall or to lease the malls. There are many local developers here in China that are picking up the business of mall development. So we act as a development consultant, bring in the respective design teams, and then bring in foreign retailers and work with the local retailers as well.
As you just said, you were involved in developing the first mall in China.
That's right.
I know this is a long time ago, but would you be willing to tell us a little bit about that and the learnings and the changes we can observe from the past to today?
Yeah, we're delighted to do that. The mall business in China is very new at that stage. We were not aware of the need to understand the need to do proper market studies. Right? We entered into the mall business by opportunity when a fellow associate introduced a project to my boss, and we started the first development. I joined the company and I came in and realized that this is not the best location. It should be in Shanghai, but we were in Wuhan, the central part of China. But it was a beautiful project. It was a cultural conservation project, a 100 years old German colonial building that is so impressive. So we conserved the facade and built the first mall, brought in the first multiplex into China, built the first food court, and built the first internet cafe in that region. It sounds interesting, but it's lots of challenges because at that time, China is not open to foreign retailers. So we have to work through joint venture partners to deliver the goods. And the challenge is that we were not familiar with the Chinese market, so we have to do everything from scratch, do the consumer research, invite foreign retailers to come in, and they were not familiar with the city at all. The manpower was a constraint then. There was no trained staff in that 1995. So a lot of resources were put into building up the team and then creating awareness for this project. But despite all these challenges, we took almost 2 years to 3 years to get everything organized, and eventually the mall opens, and it's been operational for almost 10 years now. And we invited 4 years ago by another developer that is developing a 2 million square feet mall because of our first success. So it was a difficult start, but ever since SRE has gone into 40 over cities from tier 1 to tier 4 to help developers to develop the malls and also to manage and lease the shopping centers.
That's very interesting. If we, as you just said, you develop malls in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4. Can you tell us a little bit about the challenges and the differences we observe, especially, I think, arising in tier 3 and 4 cities?
Okay. One of the main challenge in the third tier and the fourth tier city is that there's a lack of organized retailing. Most of the retailers are not familiar with these places. All right, most of them are familiar: Shanghai, Beijing, Shenzhen. So most of them are beginning to move into the second and the third tier city, but not the third and the fourth tier city. We we need to do a lot of work initially. Most of the time, these cities, the land price is cheaper. That's why developers take some of these sites. But the construction cost is almost the same whether it's third tier or fourth tier. So it's very important to make sure that the market can support shopping centers. The rent can support the investment returns. So a lot of groundwork is needed in the feasibility study stage to make sure that you get all your financial feasibility done, you get your marketability done, which means that can you find retailers to do it. And in most of the time, in those third and fourth tier city, it is necessary to group some of the local champions, right? Besides bringing the other retailers from the tier 2 and tier 1s, right, into the third and fourth tier cities. Another challenge is also going into this city is you have to do a lot of communications with the prospective retailers. You want to do beautiful storefronts. You want to have a mall that is well maintained and clean and secure. You need to have a good management team. So in most of these places, a lot of training is needed, all right, both for the retailers as well as the training the rank and file staff. Another challenge with this third and fourth tier city is that there's not a lot of published information on the cities, right? You need to do primary research to cover areas on the intercept studies, and typically we will do about 700 intercept studies across the 5 most prominent parts of the commercial areas, all right, to find out what the shoppers needs and what are their shopping habits, the shopping patterns, and what do they hope to see in the new shopping centers. So a very systematic approach is needed to make sure that you don't make mistakes in terms of bring in things that from the tier 1 cities straight into the third, fourth tier cities.
If I picture retailers from tier 1 cities going into tier 4 cities, is it necessary to adjust the price level of the products, or how does that work?
I think in China, if you are the high-end brands like the Gucci and Louis Vuitton, almost the whole of the Chinese market knows these brands. If you are the middle range products and you are not so well known in the city, it's quite important to make your products known, all right, through the various medias or through the various publications and or through other public relations programs to promote your product. And pricing wise, you'll be surprised that even in the fourth tier cities, there are a lot of wealthy people that can afford that. In fact, in China, I think most of the consumers treat the foreign brands as higher qualities and more trustworthy products. I think pricing is not an issue. It's a question of is your product ready, or is the market ready for your products?
Great. For the tier 4 cities, if we look all over China, which is very cluttered and very scattered, where would you say are the hot spots in the next years? Which are the most promising cities?
I would say that China has about 20 odd good provincial capital cities like Chengdu, Wuhan, Shenyang, and Guangzhou. These are provincial capital city, and where the brands are already there, where the good brands are already there, it's easier to move from the provincial capital city into the tier 3 and the tier 4. When you don't have the brands in the provincial capital city, and you try to attract somebody from Shanghai to go all the way to, say, Mianyang in Chengdu, right? Mianyang is considered a third-tier city, and Chengdu is considered the provincial capital city of Sichuan province, right? Then it's a challenge, Right? If you have already found the brands in the capital city, then it's easier to achieve that.
Interesting. Looking at mall designs, how has that changed over time? Are they getting bigger? Are they getting smaller? Are they shifting from an L shape to a circle shape?
Very interesting question. I think China has grown very fast in this area. The Chinese developers are very open to new ideas. They hired some of the world-class designers, both in terms of the interior and the architectural design. They hire world-class landscape designers for their malls. They are very open to learning from experienced mall managers. They travel very widely to visit successful shopping centers and then bring the same idea back into China. So in terms of mall design, I would say that China, after almost about 15 years of shopping center developments, has actually been able to come up with very good quality designs now. And I see that the malls are getting bigger. In the 2002, the Mall China, which is the largest shopping center association in China, compiled the statistics, and at the time the mall is only about 40,000 meters square average. Today they are growing to between 70,000 meters square to 80,000 meters square. So they're getting bigger. For obvious reasons, that China has opened up for foreign retailers after WTO, and thousands of foreign retailers from hypermarkets, department stores, chain stores, and cinemas, IKEA, category killers, they are all in China today.